Hey there. So I did this like really quick little poll tonight with the Surrealist Tarot deck and also one card from the Divine Circus Oracle cards by Lana Fairchild, which happens to be Gypsy Columbine there. And so I'm going to actually read that full one out of the book after, but so I don't know, I guess I'm not going to say who I'm reading for or whatnot. Like, if the shoe fits, wear it. You gotta, I mean, what I'm meaning to say is just bear with me. I'm in a very odd and somber sort of a mood. Feeling like I went to the funeral for the death of myself or something. Also, please pardon my mess. I'm one of those that gets basically thrown out and into a place of non-safety, and where my life is in danger quite often. Not due to actions that I deserve, in fact, quite the opposite. Anyways, I'm not gonna sob or anything. I'm just gonna read these cards. I'm just trying to say, excuse my mess, I have a lot going on, and also, you know, if you're looking for my regular zany Sally, you might not be hearing it tonight. I don't know what's going on, but something's very serious and somber, and that is not generally a mood that I find myself in, if you know me. And so, you know, I guess there's probably some huge reason for that. And I don't know, if you don't like the fact that I read tarot, then, you know, you're welcome to go find another scene. No offense. Like, it is what it is, and I am who I am, and there's like one thing that I can't stand, and what's really wants, you know, me to get off of this and be excited to move on and be done with this phase of social engineering, social media, this whole you know, part of this story. It served as a purpose that actually this page actually started to document some proof of some illegal action that was taken against me, that stuff that is under investigation. But basically, like, what these criminals try to do is they try to actually turn you into a criminal and falsify like incidences and reports. You know, it's just part of the whole like targeted individual targeting program, and it's old. It's getting old, so we're over it, and we're ready for these freaking weirdos that are behind these disparities to be put away already, you know. And those of us that have helped and contributed to do that, well, we basically we're being attacked, you know. And I guess we'll see what happens if there's anyone really truly fighting for us. I want to think that there are. I feel like I'd be dead otherwise. And perhaps we are still being needed as bait to get rid of the people that would persecute those that are, you know, starseeds and chosen and special people, and carry the light and the love and compassion within them still, as it's becoming far more rare on this earth. 4:20 on the clock. I wish. Anyways, okay, let's get going. The Lovers. So basically the first card that I saw was kind of like the bottom of the deck. I'm one that often reads my theme from the bottom, and especially if it's like, whoa, what I'm feeling. And yeah, it was the Lovers in reverse. It's really quite interesting because you can see, I've got a really crappy camera. I can't wait to ditch this device. But there's like a hawk or an eagle on the very tip of this mountain under the moon. I'm gonna flip it the other way just for a second. Even though this came out in the reverse, but yeah. And then you can see like a woman and like a man, and they're like kissing, but it's like their faces are covered with bags or something in the background. Their faces are covered, they're veils, and blending into the rocks. And then you've got the two women, and then of course dude's got apple on his face, trademark surrealism. And she is naked, but she's also earth. She's a tree. She is connected to earth. So I didn't really like get super detailed with this and devil into the like devil into the my terminology is just fantastic, isn't it? I love this sky. It's beautifully painted. Anyways, yeah, I didn't get into the you know, the meanings of what relates to what with the Lover's card. I do believe the Lover's card does have probably then an earth sign connection. I don't know if it has Virgo. Reading for myself, there's Virgo all over the place, but both sides of the connection, non-connection, I don't know what this read is about. But anyways, this is gonna be a long read for like 5 cards, 6 cards. So anyways, the Lovers ended up being reversed as I started this particular read out. And so basically it meant and like most of my wording actually is from the booklet with a Surrealist Tarot, with some other just like input, just a few words here or there or whatever. So the love is reversed, the enigma of desire, but lost, separated basically. Thwarted was the sacred union of contrast, no yin to the yang, out of balance. A decision not taken solely with one's heart, but rather an influenced decision of others' wishes. And I'm not making this stuff up. This is what I pulled, and this is how the book said it, upside down. Love should be made of mysteries, and we are the very evidence of this. So basically, right under it was, you know, and I meant to just read the bottom of the deck, but when I pulled it up, I'm like, oh, there's that card again, because it's always coming up whenever I pull this deck out. And in this instance, this Queen of Swords, which since it was kind of like sort of like a cross spread to begin, it's sort of sideways anyways, but like she's not a nice one, and she doesn't even look nice, does she? But like in this deck, she's always come out as the karmic. So, just unsure of what signs relate there, but it's just interesting, even like the way she looks in that second frame, the look of these girls. There's 3 women here. There's one looking to the sea with long hair, so you don't know if she's the same one in the back or the one that is in the middle that's interfering. I don't know. I mean, they look kind of evil and crusty and scary and manipulative, and you know, like look how they're holding. I don't know if this is a different woman, if this is divine feminine, but yeah, kind of has this whole like third party vibe going on, the exes and the divine feminine or twin flame or whatever. And so anyways, I call it the influence, and what's in the hidden, the Queen of Swords. And so it's an attraction towards the shady side of life, dancing on the tip of a knife and walking along its blade, seduction, mindfuckery. And this is exactly straight out of the book, brah. Cringe all you fucking want to. You did it to yourself, you did. Alright, anyways, moving on. So the 3 cards I got were that, you know, I just came out as a shuffling 3 of Pentacles in the reverse, 5 of Cups, and the 4 of Cups, and I kind of put them in like past, present, and future question mark positions, and that's why I knew that this was the card. Also, look at how beautifully they coordinate. Like I've said in other things, color and color coordination is kind of a big part of like how I see things, and see that they go together. So anyways, Three of Pentacles in the reverse. I'm gonna flip it over just so you can like see the imagery in the upright, and then we'll flip it back over a little bit. But it's interesting because there is a female that's like basically got like a headdress almost on, and I don't know, it's like a weird like gray sort of cement face, and she's looking towards dude in background. I don't know if that's divine masculine there. That looks pretty phallic cross section of like, you know, the stuff. So I don't know if this would relate to anything in the situation, like medically or not, or like if there's a medical type person involved, doctor energy. And so yeah, and then they're on checkerboard floor, which you see a lot in this deck. White and black checkerboard traditional floor. We had that in our house when we moved in, and I have an aunt in Washington State that rocks it. I've always enjoyed it. This artwork always reminds me of high school and college, and I went to art school in the early 90s, mid 90s actually. 1994 was when I started college down south in art, although, you know, I was pretty proficient in high school, and actually did a lot of my own surrealism. A lot of the artwork that I did in college actually was surrealist, and I don't know, maybe one of these times I'll somewhere find a file or be able to maybe reproduce some of the type of artwork that I did personally in design school that was surrealist based. And then there's like this other woman, and she's like got her head covered, and it looks like a freaking turkey or like blood or like guts or like, I don't know, like almost like an owl type face back there. I wish I had like a magnifying glass or a better camera. This camera's shit. I think it's kind of been screwed with also, just so I can't make good videos. And then there's an egret, but with legs. Bird lady. So it's kind of interesting, all of it. And I personally have, you know, Blu-ray Avatar. Yeah, so anyways, past Three of Pentacles, but like I said, it came out in the reverse. So elective affinities basically passed over. The beautiful laws of space and time have no value on the edge of the universe is the traditional upright meaning in this deck of that. But actually a money-based corruptible monetary value being placed upon something that indeed is priceless. In this situation with it in the reverse, development failed to progress due to ego and pride and lack of humility. Becomes one's demise. Basically, pride comes before the fall. So keep in mind that was in the past like position. So then was the Five of Cups. It's interesting because always in this one there's like spilled cups, but still chance for recovery, and that's the meaning of the Five of Cups. So it's kind of cool how it is in this one. And these dudes are like plants. So I'm going to say a lot of earth, a lot of nature-based meaning and theme behind this one as well. 5 moons. Look, it's like Leaf Dude. And he's drinking champagne. Little Dom, it looks like, maybe even. Anyways, 3 cups spilled there. And the the 5 of Cups in the present. Basically, symmetrical deception, self-delusion, worlds closed within the limited perception of oneself, needless despondency. So, yeah, being at a crossroads, basically, and knowing where you should go, but not wanting to because you can't see the long term of things, I guess. You know, and it actually kind of relates to this next one. It's basically like a matter of choosing life or choosing death. Sort of in the crossroads. It's basically like a final choice sort of a vibe. Like, you know, a lot of times when you go through life and you're younger, you get plenty of opportunities to screw something up, you know, and to have a new start. But this is the time where, in point of life of some people's lives, where it's actually detrimental. And yeah, so I know this will apply to multiple people if indeed it's seen, the collective, whatever. You know, when we hear these, oftentimes we want to make it fit our situation, and it's real easy to do that, and that's why it's real easy for trickery to come through reading as well. There's lots of applications often. Anyways, that is just a side note, and yeah, just want to interject this. It really bothers me when dudes like be coming on, you're like random dudes, and they like want to call you love or hun or dear or whatever, you know, because like nobody has any right to give me that label or call me that if you haven't earned that place in my life and been given me that permission. I don't know why men seem to think that because a woman is targeted and goes through struggles, she's some like weakling. You know, like, I actually am not one to believe that the woman overpowers a man traditionally. I don't honestly believe that. I feel like when it's in its balance and in its proper perspective, it's, you know, it's a concept that like doesn't have to be sexist. It's supported, and it's just like a natural roles, and then one isn't better than the other. It's just the way that we were designed, you know, in different aspects and attributes, where a woman may be weaker than a man in one area, she's also can be stronger than a man in the other area. So you know, I guess what I'm saying is it takes somebody that I respect enough to be put in that position to where I respect them enough to not let them overpower me or try to control me or try to say what's going on with me or what's going on with my life when they have no idea. But to give, somebody's got to be real darn smart, and they've got have to have a lot of like oh, I don't even know how to say this without it being offensive to the others, but you've got to have a lot of pentacles. I mean, and I don't mean that in the money sense. You just got to possess what it is that a Sigma female needs, you know, and don't think of yourself any higher than you ought to. We all have that issue. We all have to try to not do that. But, you know, I'm just really over it. I don't want to call anyone a scrub, but I know my worth, and I know what I come from, and I know what my blood is all about. I know what my DNA is all about. Otherwise I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in and hadn't gone through some of the experience that I've gone through. I know what my divine mission is, and I know what kind of recompense that I'm due for, you know, and so, you know, and it doesn't even necessarily matter what the balance of somebody's bank is. I'm somebody that knows it's more of the skills and the resources and the personality and the traits and possessing that sort of a thing, because one can create money literally almost overnight in the right situation. And I actually, when we had our last economic recession, which we never recovered from in 2008, I thrived during that, you know. So you know, my grandpa, he came from fancy and money, but his family had to run and relocate, and then were targeted, and their union was attempted to be broken up, so they had to start over from scratch, and that's happened in my family, so I know that's quite possible, you know. But like, if I ain't feeling it, I ain't feeling it. And like, mine comes to me in person. Like, I fall in person for somebody, in person. Anyways, moving on. 4 of Cups. And the divine is going to bring it to me, and you know, and he already has. And so, you know, it's like, people that don't understand like my situation, they don't understand that I had an actual physical experience that was extreme and huge. And like, you know, I don't know if anyone's ever had love at first sight. I've had it 3 times in my life where it turned into a significant relationship in my life, the most significant relationships in my life. And this specific incident was like 3 times stronger than all 3 of those put together. So no, if it weren't for an actual thing that actually happened and actually went down, I wouldn't be doing any of this. I wouldn't be reading this. I wouldn't have faith in, you know, a person that I was connected to, you know. And it all came about, like, and it's like validated, and it's even more validated by the hacking of these karmics and the actions of, like, you know, all the thwarting by all of them, the whole lot of these karmics, you know, like, you know. So I'm not just making this up, and it's really not fun. It's really distressing. These bitches have really fucked with my life, you know, like, so it's powerful. I wouldn't even be dealing with this. I'd be moving on to something entirely different, and I wouldn't be thinking about somebody that I can't stop thinking about if he wasn't thinking about me all the time too, because that's how it works, you know. So you know, I have someone in mind, and it would take quite the connection of quite the sigma male of extreme chemistry and attraction to match what I think of, who I think about, what I believe is meant to be. And honestly, I don't really care to be in just a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. I'd quite honestly rather keep my freedom and stay single at this point. So no, it's gotta have more benefit than like whatever, you know. I can't think of words now. And so, yeah. If you bug me, it's been nice chatting with you, basically, sort of a thing. So yeah, I don't settle, okay? I should have just said it that way. Whatever, moving on, and I am moving on, because it's the same reason I shut down my MySpace pages. 10 messages a day from rando dudes, catfishers, trolls, blah, blah, blah. Like, seriously. Wow. Downsides of the internet, I guess. 4 Cups. So this was kind of in the future, or like questionable position. It's a beautiful design. It's also, again, leafy. Leaves turning into sea turtles. Which that could be a whole lot of stuff to get into, which could add 20 minutes to this video. The ocean turns into a moon. It's like the earth underneath the water, like the bottom of the sea, sort of a thing, like the upside down kind of. It's really interesting. Very interesting card here. So anyways, 4 of Cups. Homesickness for one's country. So this kind of makes me think, if it were in a prophetic or foretelling sense, that it means the return to a region of origin, possibly either spatial or, you know, ancient roots, you know, whether they be like alien, whether they be Egyptian, whether they be Swedish, like on the edge of Greenland, I don't know, like Wales, I don't know, a star up there in the sky, perhaps being of starseed, that would be cool. But anyways, return to region of origins. I am ready for a dramatic move somewhere far away, and to return home, quite possibly, whether it be the east or the northern region of the other side of the world. Like, And I do like the islands by the equator because the, you know, weather's really awesome there. Especially like a volcanic like island where I could like dig down and like build myself an aquarium underneath the water, like the ideal little dystopian hideaway. Because like under the sea in a capsule is like claustrophobic to me. Under the sea, like carved into a volcanic rock where you can have a little tunnel that connects you actually to earthern the earth and the air, and you know what I mean, like an escape route. But like if it's volcanic rock, how filtering is that anyways? You know what I mean? That takes a massive like aquarium glass, but you'd still get the sun while you'd be shielded from radiation. And you could grow all these like, you know, tomatoes with all kinds of milk jugs, like just like floating by all the time in the ocean. But still, it'd be beautiful. You'd probably see like, you know, mutated sea life, and you get sun rays though. Sun rays. Sun rays on your tomato plants in your like little aquarium cave home in the sea. Okay, anyways. Where was I? So control repression of natural feelings, and possibly like if you were to look at the evolution of this, it could be that being lifted or released or overcome in a positive sense of this card, and a mask being removed, needless despondency, being pushed to the wayside and overcome. And basically this is again the question of choosing life or death, question mark. All right, I better read this Gypsy Columbine card here and get this done with and over with, and so I can, you know, get on with my life and be able to shut this damn page down, because it's embarrassing, but whatever. Some of us have to do what we have to do to fight for the future, and, you know, whatever's on the internet's permanent, right? Cool. I'm ready to have a backstory, and I'm ready to overcome that, and I'm ready for that backstory to inspire others, you know? It's my time. I'm too old for the fucking runaround. Anyways, Gypsy Columbine, number 38. The free spirit in you is rewilding itself, shedding social conditioning and past patterns of behavior. It is shaking off socialization and emerging anew, like a snake shedding a skin. The wild one within isn't a savage. It is raw, yes, but it is also wise, authentic, beautiful, and with a deep instinctive knowing as to what you must be. Sorry, I'm about to cry. Can a bird ever be truly happy whilst trying to be a fish? Are we really living if we're just standing still? True freedom is to be truthfully yourself. Politeness and people-pleasing, not out of respect, but out of fear you will otherwise be rejected, is a form of social conditioning that dulls the wild one within. I have to read that again. Politeness and people-pleasing, not out of respect, but out of fear you will otherwise be rejected, is a form of social conditioning that dulls the wild one within. If you reject that conditioning in favor of rewilding, of getting in touch with your true instincts and nature, you will exchange lukewarm tolerance from others for their passionate admiration and love. And for those that cannot love you, that are afraid of how much life is in you, then let them be. They do not belong in your world, nor you in theirs. The jungle of life is a vibrant, colorful, and exciting place, but not everyone is ready to live there as yet. That is just the way of things sometimes. The mysterious Gypsy Columbine comes to you with a message. It's now time to let yourself off the hook, to forgive and forget, to allow what's been to have been, and to start again. No regrets, no fear, no doubt. It is time to heed the call of the wild and ask yourself, what would set my spirit free? If you cannot answer that bold question quite yet, then it's time to get in touch with the freedom-seeking wild one within. Dance, play, sing, drum. Wear a feather in your hair and go barefoot. Let your instincts rather than your intellect guide you. Swap the certainty of the ego for the mystery of the soul. A new song wants you to dance to it. There is no choreographed routine to learn, yet your body will create the steps as you go. Will you free your gypsy soul and dance to music you've never heard before? Healing trick to help you take
the wisdom offered, and put it to your best use in your life now. Do this healing trick to clear obstacles to putting this guidance into place. Find a piece of music you would like to do a moving meditation with. It can be any type of music that appeals to you. If you are happy to move without music, then you can do that too. You don't have to be a trained dancer to dance. You just need a body and a soul. Before you play the music, take some time to get out of your head and into your body. To do this, you can put the attention to feeling your feet, the air in your skin, the breath in your nostrils, the movement of your toes and fingers as you wiggle them slightly. You might like to warm up with some wrist movements, some flowing arm movements, rolling your shoulders and bending side to side from the waist. You might like to move your hips and wiggle your bottom. You might like to bend and straighten your knees. When you are ready, either play your piece of music or allow your body to express itself, or begin your moving meditation freely without music as you choose. You don't need to dance properly. You need to let your body express your spirit freely without rules, without choreographed moves, without judgment. Your movements may be very small or bold and dramatic. Be with what feels true for your spirit and your body for as long as it feels right for you. You have finished your healing trip.